BookTube, Sarah here, and welcome to my channel. Today I'm coming to you with a discussion video. Today I want to talk about where I find my audiobooks. I've had a few different people ask me in comments over the last few months about, how I read so many audiobooks considering how expensive they are. And I absolutely wholeheartedly agree. They are expensive. And in my TBRs every month, or my wrap-ups and things like that, I do try and mention where I get these books from, but I thought I'd do maybe just a more concise video just to give you guys a bit more information. So I hope this is helpful to you. So first of all, let's start off with the big guns. The first place that I go to look for any audiobook is Audible. If Audible does not have it as an audiobook, it probably doesn't exist as an audiobook. Now, there are a few instances over the last couple years where that has not been true. There are two books that I found on audio at my library, and I'm not talking on CD, I'm talking digital, like, to download onto my phone or whatever, that Audible did not have. So I don't know whether the library took old discs that they had on like CD and converted them to digital format. I'm not sure, but there were only two. So 99% of the time, if it's not on Audible, it doesn't exist as an audiobook. So I do have an Audible subscription, and I have an Audible subscription to audible.com. Now, late last year, Audible became, had a secondary site added for Canada. So there's audible.ca. And if you're in Canada like I am, I absolutely encourage you to join if you want. The price is exactly the same. It's $14.95 US for the audible.com, but it's $14.95 Canadian for the .ca. So technically, depending on what our dollar is doing, it's probably quite a bit cheaper for you to actually get your subscription through audible.ca if you're in Canada. There's a reason I do not, and I will get into that in just a second. So I do have an Audible membership. I get one audiobook a month with my $14.95 credit, and beyond that, because I am a member, I get 30% off any other audiobooks that I want to buy. Now, the other thing is that if you already own the book in print book form or in Kindle book format, like for the Kindle that you bought from Amazon, this also does not work on the audible.ca. So if you own the book, even if you bought it on amazon.ca, if you try to go to audible.ca and purchase the ebook or the audiobook, you do not get a discount on it. That's why I tend to go with audible.com, just because it gives me more options. But if I already own a book, I get an even bigger discount. For example, I like the Crew of Hunters books. There are some of them that I actually own on Kindle, and I want to listen to them on audio when it's time, when, I get to that book in the series. And if I own it on Kindle, like let's say I don't own it on Kindle, my member price on that book might be $19.95 US. But because I own it, a Kindle version of it, I can get it for $7.95. So it's a little bit of it's a more substantial savings. Now, when I use my credit, anytime I use my credit, I do not use it for books that are less than the cost of the credit. If the credit costs me $14.95, I am not buying a book that's $7.49 and wasting a credit. That's just my personal opinion. Everybody's different. But that's just me. If I'm going to use my credit on an audiobook, I want to make sure I'm getting my money's worth out of it. The other reason that I use audible.com over .ca is because of the romance readers package. This is something that audible.ca does not have. And if you have a membership to Audible, or if you have the Kindle Unlimited, you can get the romance readers package for $6.95 US a month. That's a pretty decent savings. And there are a ton, guys, an absolute ton of books that are in this romance package. I find 4 to 5 to 6 books from my TBR every month in this Audible romance package for only $6.95. So yes, I'm paying $6.95 every month, but that's allowing me to read 5 or 6 books for that money. That's like $1 a book. That's totally reasonable in my opinion. And I'm absolutely happy with it. I really, really enjoy that, and they're constantly adding new books. Pretty much everything by Kristen Higgins, Julia Quinn. There's a couple Crew of Hunters that have now shown up there, of course ones that I've already read, but still, if you're interested, the first book in the Crew of Hunters series is available on the Audible romance package. You can check that out. So yeah, a lot of my books come from there. The second place that I get my, sorry, I'm just kind of looking at something here down on my tablet, that I get my, where is acquisitions? Okay, I'm already there. Sorry. The other place where I get audiobooks from is my library. I am very, very fortunate that I have a membership, a library card, to probably the biggest library system in the country, and that is the Toronto Public Library System. I think that there are close to 200 branches, and the library catalog is massive, absolutely massive. Now, the thing with the library is, unlike the Audible Romance package, if it's available on the Audible Romance package, you can download it into your library. Now, the one thing with that is, that I forgot to mention, you can only have 8 titles downloaded in your library at a time. That's all that they'll let you download. What I do, though, is once I've listened to the audiobook, I remove it from my library so that way I can add new books in if I want to. With the library, sometimes somebody might already have the book checked out, so you have to go on a waiting list, which is fine. I mean, if you're in no hurry to listen to a book, then just throw it on hold, and eventually when it comes in, you can listen to it. I love using my library. I really, truly love utilizing my library. And also, when I talk about my library, again, this is all in digital format. I do not borrow CDs or anything at all like that. I don't have access to a CD player at all. It was funny, quick little side story. A number of years ago, I was out with my husband at Walmart, and I noticed that at the time, the new Kenny Chesney album was out. Oh, it wasn't Cosmic Hallelujah. Cosmic Hallelujah is the new one. It was the one before that with American Kids. What was that album called? Oh, it's going to drive me crazy. I'll put the name of it right here because it's bugging me. Great album. But I picked it up. I'm like, ooh, and I said to my husband, I'm like, it was on sale for $5. I'm like, I'm going to pick this up and leave it in the car. Garrett's like, great idea. Now, keep in mind, I've owned that car for 2 years at this point. We get back into the car, I unwrap the CD all excitedly, and there's no CD player in my car. I'm like, is there something wrong with it? So my husband pulls out the owner's manual. My car does not have a CD player. It's a 2015. It has a MP3 player plug-in, so I can plug it into something, and like I run the jack through and listen to whatever I'm listening to on my phone, but I actually physically don't have a CD player in my car. Plus the fact that I know with CDs you cannot speed them up, and I do listen to my audio at typically 1.75 to 2 times speed, because I find any slower than that and it's too slow for me. So yeah, so that's another place where I get a lot of my audiobooks is from the library. Sorry, I almost lost what I had on my lap here. The last 2 places are smaller. I've only ever gotten 1 audiobook from each of them, but I wanted to mention them as an alternative if you guys are looking for audiobooks and you're shopping around. If you're going to be paying for an audiobook and you're shopping around, it is always nice to have options. Now, I am a Samsung Google user. I do not have an Apple. I do not use iTunes. I don't have an iPhone. I have a Samsung. I use Google Play. So if you're not an Android user, then this one might not apply to you. But Google Play actually sells audiobooks. And back in February, when I was going to listen to Blueberry Muffin Murder by Joanna Fluke, I think it's book 3 in the Hannah Swenson series, I wanted to listen to it on audio because I wanted to see what the audio was like. And my library didn't have it on audio. Audible had it, but it was like $22.95. That was with my membership. And I'm like, well, I'm not paying $25 for an audiobook that I can listen to in 2 or 3 days. That's unjustifiable to me. So I just kind of Google searched the book title on audio, and it came up on Google Play for $14.95. So granted, it was the cost of a credit, but that was in Canadian dollars, so that's a bonus. So I decided to just try it out and listen to it. And the player was really good. It was good quality. They do not have a lot of options on Google Play, but they do have some books. So again, if you're shopping around, that's another option to check out. I do believe iTunes also sells audiobooks, but I cannot confirm pricing or anything like that with you guys again because I'm not an Apple user. It's like Coke and Pepsi, isn't it, guys? You know, either you're a Coke fan or you're a Pepsi fan. Either you're an Android or you're an Apple. I'm an Android. So anyway, that's one. The other one is Kobo. And I believe Kobo is now worldwide. Kobo used to be the Canadian equivalent to the Kindle. A Kobo e-reader was actually the very first e-reader I ever bought 8 years ago. And I love that silly little device. my husband and I actually bought them for each other's anniversary as wedding gifts because we were on our honeymoon when we bought them. We're so romantic. Book nerds are so romantic. But anyway, I was looking on the Kobo website. Now, they do offer a monthly membership, and I believe it's $14.95, so it's compatible to Amazon.ca or Audible.ca. They do not have nearly the amount of books that they have on Audible. So keep that in mind. If you're going to be paying for a membership, make sure to look through and make sure that there's books that you're actually going to want to listen to if you choose to go that route. Now, not that I'm encouraging this behavior, but if there's an audiobook that you really want to listen to, but your library doesn't have it and it's not available on Amazon and it's kind of, or Audible, it's kind of pricey, on the Kobo, you can get 1 month for free. And most companies offer this, who offer a membership package, offer like a free trial month. So back in January or February, whatever month it was that I wanted to read Practical Magic by Alice Hoffman, it was almost $30 on Audible with my membership. I found it on Kobo. And I joined, and of course nothing's charged for the first month. I downloaded that book, I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I canceled my membership. A lot of people do it. You're not stealing. They fully allow you to do that. So, you know, it's an option. And, you know, maybe in the foreseeable future, when I get some more money and when finances are a little bit better, I even said to my husband, I might subscribe to both because, you know, it'll give me an extra credit. And the cool thing with Kobo is that you actually get points. And when you get so many points, you can get freebies. Now, you have to buy quite a bit in order to get freebies, but they also have ebooks. So ebooks or audiobooks will get you points, and you can use those points for either ebooks or audiobooks. It's not like you have to buy a bunch of audiobooks to get a free audiobook. You can buy a bunch of ebooks and then get a free audiobook. So that's also a suggestion as well. So anyway, guys, that is pretty much all I really had to say on this subject. I hope you guys found some of it interesting. There's one other little stat that I kind of wanted to give you guys, just to... I mentioned this one to my husband, and his jaw kind of dropped with this one. So, I use a reading spreadsheet that was developed by, I think what's his name? His channel is Let's Read. I will try and leave a link if I remember to in the description box below, so you can go check out. It's called the Reading Spreadsheet of Doom, and it's for 2018. He updates it every year, and this is free. It's on the Google Drive. All you have to do is save a copy to your own Google Drive, and then you can manipulate it however you want. So in this, there's different tabs, different sections, and one of them is acquisitions. And you can type in all of the books that you purchase in that, you know, whatever. And you can put how much you paid for them, but how much their retail is. So if you get a book on sale, you can put how much it was retail. And then at the end of the year, you can look back to see how much money you saved. There's also a section where it kind of tallies everything that you can put library card. Now, I know there are a lot of places that actually do charge for a library card. My library card is free because I live and work in the city of Toronto. Even when my husband and I move, I will be able to retain that library membership as long as I still have my current job in the city. As long as you live or work in the city, you can have a library membership for free. If you do not live or work inside the city, you have to pay for a membership. I believe it's $20 or $25 a year. Still absolutely reasonable. So, you know, they give you, but I know that there's a lot of places that even, I think in the States quite often in different counties, even if you live in that county, there is still a fee to use the library. So, you know, that's why they have this section to put in the cost of a library card. Now, that should be zero for me because I don't pay for my library card. But what I do tabulate in there is every month when my new Audible charge comes out of the bank, I add that to the total. So the total will continuously go up every single month. But I do that to see how much I save using and borrowing books using the Audible Romance package and my library. Because I put all that in the spreadsheet. So, sorry, I was checking something out here. My screen went blank. Anyway, as I was saying, the total cost that I have saved minus the cost of my membership every month, that's $6.95, plus my $14.95 credit every month, so roughly about 20 some odd bucks a month. Over the last 4 months, because April's books are already tallied in here, I have saved $568 as opposed to buying these books, you know, these audiobooks. That is huge, and that's only in 4 months. So if you really think about that, you're looking at probably close to $1,500 to $2,000 I'm going to be saving every year by using these services as opposed to buying every single audiobook. You know, I'm obviously not sponsored by Audible in any way, or I don't get books from publishers for review, and I'm fine with that. That's not why I'm here. I want to read the books that I want to read. You know, if I had asked for a book, oh, you know, I saw that book's come out and I really like to read it and possibly review it for you, that would be great. But to get stuff unsolicited, that doesn't interest me in the least. But anyway, so just to let you guys know, $568 so far to the end of April is how much I have currently saved. That's not including any new books that I might download from my library in April, or any other books that I might grab from the Audible package in April. That is as of right now. So pretty exciting stuff. So yeah, so like I said, I hope you guys got some good information out of that. I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know in the comments below if there's any other discussion videos that you guys would like me to do. I do, of course, check all the comments that are made, and if anybody asks any questions, I try and answer them in comments. And sometimes if I'll try and answer it, but if I think it could go with a bigger video, like a full video, I will do a full video on that discussion topic. Even if there's recommendation videos that you guys would like me to do, please let me know. I am keeping a list of all these ideas, and I hope to get to them in the near future. Anyway, guys, that is it for this video. Thank you so much for sitting down with me today. And until my next video, take care and happy reading. Bye, guys.